we'll just get straight to the good stuff.
Oh, he's a big un.
I'm literally stretched back as far as I possibly can be with my table, with my zoom. This is a huge thing. Gosh, what do you use to describe this? I feel like this is the amalgamation and total culmination of what a Botcon set really should be. It's a set of figures that is so cohesive that they all form one thing. At the end of the day, this is the big Megillah that you have purchased. This is a full team working together for something.
Teamwork, yeah.
Already I have some mixed feelings about it. First of all, if we can just get a close look up on that torso and head sculpt. I mean, first of all, since I know it's obviously the bigger talking point here is the head sculpt. I think it looks really, really neat. I really appreciate the new molding. I like the idea of taking show characters and turning them into their toy functionality here by making them transform into like a combined mode that's similar to what they already turned into when they were toys. And I'll get more into that later. So I really dig the new head sculpt here. It even has like a folding crest, but I didn't experience why that needed to fold in the transformation. It was directly up the entire time, so who knows there? But it's really cool. I mean, even if you turn it around, there's even a little Predacon symbol molded into the back there, and that's so Beast Wars. It's delightful. And then my second favorite thing about this torso is this chest piece. This is so clever because this takes the same idea as Silverbolt and it uses clever painting there to try and make that look like a bug head. With the eyes there and the pincers there, it's just brilliant because that's where Cicadacon's head used to tab into. That's what became the chest. It's just absolutely, I'm blown away. I'm so impressed. A couple other things to note here. You've got some black stripes that really contour the chest well, some silver pole details there, and the dark blue here ties in with Tarantulas, the black ties in with Ravage, of course, and then of course the green also gives this more of a justified reason, and all of that is all the same color there. I was curious how this would turn out when it was all put together before we got pictures of the combined mode, because what we are essentially looking at here is 3 versus 2. 3 versus 2. Versus 2. We knew that 3 of them would have to be the generals. So I was thinking, is this going to be like red and black torso and pants, and then like a couple of like bruiser arm things on the sides? Or is this going to be like total all the way across here, just red and black, red and dark gray, and then have the minions be the trousers? That's what I was kind of afraid the separation was going to be like. But this torso brings in all the rest of these characters, and isn't that really what a good torso is supposed to do? And now that I realize it, the fact that this yellow is here and here on the belly button means that you could bring in Terrorsaur that much more easily, because he has that same exact yellow on those same parts. That's choice. I really dig this combined mode. There are some things, however, that I think I disagree with. Number one, the fact that Ramhorn's new head has these longer ears means that those ears come out like little pitchforks out the side here. Those little teeny tiny things up in there. This is supposed to, for Brawl, this is supposed to peg in up there. And you can get it to peg. Fine. That'll stay like that. It'll work like that, but you will lose your bicep swivel. You can move this forward and back, and it seems like it's going to be okay on those ears. But if you want a bicep swivel, you have to move this down. Because, as I'm sure you can understand, the ball joint there slots in between those two little ear bat wing things. Maybe he's Batman on his free time. So another thing that is a little unfortunate is that Ramhorn's legs over here are a little loose together, and they don't peg in as strongly as one might hope. And then there's one arm versus the other arm, and there perhaps would lie the reason to want to go for Terrorsaur to have equal aerial bot forearms, because you have skinny and then wide. But then, the original toy for Tripredacus also was very mismatched and Frankenstein-y, and he had both sides as being very, very heavy on one side and light on the other. So I understand there. I understand that it's trying to reference a thing. Even if it does look a little bit lopsided, mismatched, unweighted, perhaps. Maybe he leans to one side. I don't know. Something I might like to play with is, I do this for my breakdown whenever I transform him into a leg, but I prefer to take this, one there, switch 45, one there, switch 45, turn the head around, and then flip up the chest as far as it'll go, so that the head disappears, and then you still get that wonderful chest detail there on the leg. This works tremendously well for breakdown, and for Wheeljack, for Sunstreaker, it works well for those toys. I think this looks good here because the tone of this kind of gray ties in well with the dull gray of C-Clamp. And in a way, I'm kind of grateful for that. Maybe that was on purpose. Maybe it was due for cost reasons. I have no idea and no way to know. Otherwise, as far as color goes, here's just a note I want to make about all the combiner stuff. It's difficult to tell which of these is supposed to be designed for which person. Because if you look at what's molded here, this is the rook foot and the rook little tweezer thing, right? These were packaged together, so I would assume that those are for Tarantulas here. This was by itself, and this is Brawl's foot, so I assume that goes with him. This was packaged with him in the box. These two are both for Skydive, and they were packaged together, they're for him. And here's a thing of note here. Ravage came with a gun packed by itself. Apparently FunPub made a mistake, and they were handing out extra feet just by themselves to people who were getting their packages at registration. So they forgot to stuff those in the boxes. I hope that every box on the aftermarket has that extra foot, because as is, if it's not opened and replaced with the foot, it may be missing something. Check that. That's important. But like I said, this is also for the breakdown mold, and then that's for the breakdown mold, so this is what would lead me to assume that that's how these should be assigned. However, if you were to look at the box art there, black hands up with the red arms, and then red feet down with the legs. This is confusing to me. And then look, that's red where it should be black, or vice versa. I'm not entirely sure what to make of this, or what would be the proper combination here. But I'm going to make kind of an executive call here as far as the deco goes. And I would rather put black hands with the arms and red feet with the legs, because I think that looks more diversified. Otherwise it would look a little monotonal. I don't want to do that. I'm glad that I decided to take these black hands here and put them with the arms, and then the red feet and put those with the legs, because what this looks like now is less of just this and then this. It looks like these are continuations of the thighs and the whole rest of the theme of the robot. This looks so cohesive, and it's just like the little touches that bring this entire combiner all together. I think this is a very impressive piece in and of itself, but I would much rather display these all in their individual robot modes. Usually with a combiner, I don't do that. Usually I leave it in the combined form because that's the most impressive and it takes up the least amount of shelf space. But with these guys, this looks really, really, really cool, but the way that you know these characters is in their individual robot modes. So that's how I think I'm going to display this, even though this is a reward to put together. This is Kane Magnifique. It's terrific. I thoroughly enjoy this. I'm glad I dropped the money. There are a couple things that I may need to take down to the information booth tomorrow and get them to swap out as far as quality control goes. But I'm happy I plunged on the set. And just for, squits and giggles, let's bring in Megatron here. Let's bring in Terrorsaur. There's a lot of red here. You know what? Let's break it up. Put Airazor in there. This is pretty much what we're looking at here for Botcon 2016. And this is a terrific way to cap it off, really, because you've got a full cohesive combiner. You've got terrific characters that make up that combiner. You've got the 3 generals who have never had show-accurate toy forms before, and you have this fantastic Megatron that has been dying to come out ever since the days of 3H Comics, way back before even FunPub had the license. And then you've got show-accurate Airazor, and now I have a Terrorsaur. This is all just, it's exciting. I'm having a fun time. Gosh. If this is truly where we end with Botcon, then what a way to go out with it. I mean, I could not have possibly picked a better set style to end this year, to end this run of FunPub, because, like I've said before, the 2006 Dawn of Futures Past box set has been one of my holy grails, but I only started collecting again back in 2007, first Botcon in 2009. I had no idea that existed until it was way too late, and it started to cost like $1,000 just by itself. And now I'm here to experience this one, the 20th anniversary set. I think that this one is going to be one of the winners. I think it's going to be one of the hard ones to find, especially Megatron. Oh boy, you can bet your ass he's going to be expensive on the aftermarket. I believe that before the end of the show, he's just going to be completely sold out. I was rushing to get mine because people were all talking about him. I think that along with the 2014 Botcon box set with Scorponok in it, I think this is going to be one of the most expensive ones, if not for what's inside the box, or even in the theme this year. It was the last that FunPub ever put out. And that's a somber note to try and end a video. I can only hope that something will come after this. I can only hope that we will not end here, and that we'll continue to only get better from this. But as for me, I'm a happy camper. So, until next time, this has been Camzilla51. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
A little bit broader is perhaps a company that can do more than we can do, okay? And so I don't know what their future event is going to be. I don't know when it will be or where it will be, but I know right now they are exploring several different options. And that's a decision that they made. It's nothing that we did. We've been doing Joe for 20 years. We've done Botcon for 12 years. And, you know, at some point in time, things do end. And people want to progress or try something different, okay? So as a company, Hasbro is trying to do this with all their brands. They're trying to have more fan events, and so all I can say is right now they want to go in a different direction. What that direction is, I don't know. You'll have to wait and see what they announce.